Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. I've had a chance to play with the Sweet Collection of Hobby Haven. This will be released on November 3rd for our new online exclusives. And I did a video on that last Friday, so go take a look at that. I wasn't sure how I was going to store things or anything like that because eventually I'm going to have, a system where I have like thumb through everything, kind of winging that, but even with our old stamp sets, if they were online exclusives, I put like a little yellow dot on the spine on the inside. So I could check every year or something to see if they're out of stock or whatnot. So this is a Hobby Haven Sweet Collection, but you've got, the name of the stamp set is Creative Haven, and the name of the dies are the same thing too. Where's my pokey tool? Because I'm going to pull this up. If it's a bundle, I'm not going to do it this way because it'll have the same name, but Sweet Collections, we're kind of different there. But right here, it'll say, dies up there and Creative Haven dies. And I know so far I'm going to store these right next to each other. I'm still not sure about the large magnet sheet like I have them now, but thumbing through it, I'm going to be able to see the frames, which I wasn't sure about because this to me is, a good staple set of dies to have with the shapes and the frames. So what I did do was I got one of my, you see my die sheets enough, I cut a couple of inches off and turned it into this here. And let me measure it for you real quick. It is going to be, I just had to cut some off the side there, like an inch or two. This is going to be 5 1/4 because this is 5 3/4 by 9, so it's going to be 5 1/4 by 8, and it fits in there perfectly. And this way, it helps me keep the dies together when I'm working with them too. So that's what I've come up with so far on getting my organization together with all this. But time's going to tell when things start retiring mid next year, in May for the new annual catalog. And by then, I should be able to get it together. So this is what we use today. And it is for a challenge run, Stampin' Up only challenges. And you go to SUOChallenges.com. And that's where you'll find it. My Tuesday videos are going to start focusing on that like every other Tuesday. Because that way I'm not doing 2 blog posts in one day and whatnot. So again, this is what we use today. I'm going to bring up the sketch for you real quick because my printer is broken. And yeah, I guess I'll be replacing that tomorrow. But here are a couple cards that I made from the Sweet Collection featuring our sketch. So we've got this one here, and this features like the relaxation part of that. You got your fruit, kind of like the spa things. And I used the tag, this here, and I ran it through something about Petals and Beauty, the embossing folder. Ran it through that, and then cut the sentiment out of this die right here. And I heat embossed that with white powder, and then took a sponge dauber in early espresso ink and some Cajun craze dots, and took some of our ribbon to put it through that tag. And then did the inside. And these are from the ephemera pieces in this Hobby Haven Sweet Collection. That's one card. And this is our sketch here. And, again, it'll be over on my blog and over at SUOChallenges.com. Here's the other one. Again, really easy. I use the ephemera for that. And then this is a card that we are making today. But I'm going to change the sentiment about it just a little bit. It's so well hidden there, and it's really hard to find. So we are just going to put the same thing together, basically. And I will let you know what I did. I mean, it's nothing too extravagant or, different, but... And I could have easily taken this one here, which I can do another one, and pop it up and put it over that. And that way, it'll give me 2 cards I really like. So this is Coastal Cabana, and this is Secret Sea. We got a Secret Sea card base and Coastal Cabana. And then in here is some Garden Green and Mossy Meadow. And then just a little bit of Cajun Craze to offset that. So I've got that, and I already have everything cut for us and with the Stampin' Up on the back. And again, this is from the ephemera pack that we have. And if you look at this, when I get it together, these card measurements they're a little bit different than these. It looks the same, but it's really not. You can see the offset over here, but not so much on this one. So I know that kind of sounds weird a little bit, but you know what? It works out. And I hope I did the inside of this. Yeah, I did. So I think that these are, for this one here, I've got 1 7/8 by 2 1/8. And you want to cut 2 of those. And then down here, these are 1 7/8 by 2 5/8. And you want to cut 2 of them, you know, of course, with a different paper. Or use, you know, whatever designer series paper you like. So I'm just going to get this adhered down with some liquid adhesive real quick. And I want these going opposite ways. Like this one's going across and the Coastal Cabana's going down. And I gotta check my measurements just a little bit here. Because Tammy's one who does our sketches and everything. And with this one, I measured it out myself rather than texting her right off the bat saying, hey, what are your measurements? And so she let me know. And those are the ones I'm going to go ahead and put on the blog for you. I put stamped dimensions on the back of this? Yeah, I guess I did. Okay, good, not in the wrong place either. Because I need to put that ribbon across there. So, October, already October, that paper pumpkin, the 10th this weekend was a cutoff for that, okay? And they're probably going out on, you know, today on Tuesday. Let me move that down just a little bit. See, because this is where mine, it wasn't off. I just should have cut them a little bit bigger. So I'll be mailing out the paper pumpkin kit, most likely, you know, today on Tuesday. I won't get it by Friday. So I think what I'm going to do is one more Halloween treat box because we're getting that wrapped up and getting closer to it. And I got to get my stuff out to her cousin, my cousin, because I promised her last week I would get that done. And it's done. I just got to make one more box. So we have all that down with liquid adhesive. And then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to do like a little bit cheating here. Because I have some 1/8 inch tear and tape left over from not tear and tape, but you know, some kind of tape left over from way back during the day. And I'm just going to cheat a little bit, pop that right down there in the middle. You know, I got to grab my Scotch tape. And let's see if I can get this off. Oh, I hate it when this happens, you know, but it always does. There we go. So I just want to lay this right down in the middle there. And like fill in that space a little bit. Now, with these two cards I did here, they're different in that this one has no space in between the designer series paper. And this one does. So, you know, that's another way that you can wing it. I want to flip this over and grab a couple pieces of tape and get this secured in the back, making sure it's... Okay, so I want to get that down. And then the same thing with the other piece. And I'm just going to cut out the excess, you know, because we really don't need it. Okay, so I think a week from Tuesday, I should have the paper pumpkin. And we'll do the usual, go through it. And, you know, I'll make all the cards and everything like that. Unbox it. I'll make the kit cards off screen for you. Come back, show them to you. And then we will do our 3 alternatives at the same time. But for you know, after that, I'm not quite sure. 'Cause, you know, they won't be getting in Thanksgiving. But I do know I want to do something tablescape-wise with that. So I'm going to make sure that is okay, top to bottom, left to right. And I'm going to pop that on there. Okay, good. I didn't lose my sentiment strip there because, you know, that's always a drag. I am going to, I do need to put Stampin' initials on the back of that, which I forgot to do. So I'm going to pop those on real quick. And you just need 4. Then I'm going to get those peeled off. So I'm kind of bummed about that printer because, yeah, I have a lot of stuff to do and print out, but you know, then again, it's a decade old. I'm gonna pop that right down there. Now see, I think that this right here, it just makes that sentiment come alive and it's not so buried there. So we are going to pull these off. So when I get done with this, you know, I'm going to go ahead, get my pictures done, and then come back and then get them all up for you over on the blog. Now, why did I take this off? Oh, because I need to glue, that's why. These were really easy to do, and this is a great sketch that you can use for any occasion with any of our products that we have. And it's a great way to use up your designer series paper too. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, right, a lot, I guess, right there. Oh, thank God it was in the right place too. And then just kind of get that up a little bit more so it stays in there. And then I'm just going to pull in our little dots here, and this is also part of the Sweet collection, and pop them there, 1 large at the top and then 2 small at the bottom, because I wanted to, you know, pull in this Cajun craze a little bit, so it wasn't like sitting there all by its lonesome. Okay, and there we go, really quick, easy video today. So there are our first 2 cards, and then we have the other 2, and they are right there. And again, this is Hobby Haven Sweet Collection. They'll be available to you on November 1st, November 3rd. So thank you for joining me again today. Don't forget to go over to SUOChallenges.com or CindyBDesigns.com to, you know, take another look at that sketch and be sure to join us. So have a great day, and I will see you on Friday.